Obviously, big night. Our seniors that have meant so much to our program, Zach Bush and J.R. Simon, were able to get some quality minutes and both played extremely well in a win that was a little easier than I thought it would be. Evansville had been playing very, very well, and I don't know if we've ever scored 109 against a defense that good. So I'm not sure we've scored 109, period. But we shot it extremely well, rebounded well, and shared the ball. 24 assists, 3 turnovers. So we'll take it and move on. One more game. If we can do well and win Saturday, we get at least a co-championship. And I guess Illinois State then would have to win both of their games that they've still got to play. So we'll take it. We're excited, and we'll move on.
Coach, what's it like seeing 2 of your seniors like that come in and have quality minutes? What's going through your mind when they nail shots like that?
Well, I wanted them to get a run with the core group, and you can't get a group any better than the guys that they were out there with. Kelly, I think Brown, and Shaq, because they know all of the system and they executed it beautifully. The first 3 that JR hit was a great execution of one of our quicks, and Shaq, his buddy, and part of the reason he came to Wichita State from Oklahoma City, they were good friends, he finds him beautifully on the play. So it just worked out, and then, of course, he hits nothing but the bottom of the net on his 3 attempts. Zach Bush makes a great move, finishes, gets fouled, missed his free throw, and had a 3-point attempt that was blocked, but he still had 2 dimes and would have been a 3rd dime, but someone dropped a pass. So they just went in and played with the flair that they possess as young men. They're very, very dynamic, smart, charismatic. There's a lot to like about these guys, and we are the beneficiary of having them in our program the last 5 years for Zach and 4 years for JR.
Is that just kind of a cool way to maybe showcase how deep you guys really are, that here's your 2 seniors that don't play a whole lot, and they come in and...
You know, it really is, and it wasn't meant to be that way. We're not trying to run the score up in any way. I have way too much respect for Marty and his program and the way he runs his program. But I mean, those guys are in there with 5 or 6, 7 minutes to go in the game, and you know they got to play. They get the opportunity to play. And I thought they played very, very well. And there's probably programs in the country that they could be starters on, and Division I programs, but they chose to come here and make us better every single day. They're working in the weight room, they're leading, getting guys to do the right things on and off the court, because they know exactly what we want as coaches, and they can obviously play. Their scout team work that they put in is top rate, and they push. Oftentimes they push the top 5 and the top 10 with how well they go in practice. The other day, C.J. Kaiser, I mean, he didn't play well tonight, but he was an unbelievable Jalen Brown in our practices. He really played well as mimicking Jalen Brown, and obviously we gave up too many points to Jalen Brown again, 25. He was really good, and Drew Smith had a career night. We'll have to guard him much better if we see these guys again, but you know, they run a great offense. I've said that for years. But we score 109 tonight. I'm not sure if I've ever had a team score 109. Have I?
Earlier this year.
Earlier this year, okay.
You're getting older.
Yeah, I'm forgetful.
Hey, Shamet and Connor.
Yep.
How did you see this coming from them to where they were going to develop into this?
I knew that they could both really shoot the basketball. You know, Connor, everyone knows he can really shoot it. If you live in this city, you'd have to not be a sports fan at all not to know that Connor Frankamp was a great shooter. He's a great shooter. But Landry Shamet is an equally great shooter, and he nails a couple of quick threes and then doesn't even look for another 3. He gets a 3 right before we take him out. I told him he had 1 more minute because I'm going to let JR play with the starters, and then Connor, I guess between the 2 of them, they go 7 for 8 from 3 and have 8 assists, no turnovers. It's a pretty good line for starting backcourt.
But you're a program known for really good guard tandems. Was the key putting Landry at the point and letting Connor run the two?
Well, I think that's worked better. I'm not going to take any credit for how well these guys are playing. They're good players, and I think that was probably helpful. But maybe if Connor was still running more of a point and Landry was still at the two, it would be even equally as good. I don't know that for sure, but I like the way they're playing, and I like the way they're sharing the basketball. How about our bigs tonight? Our starting five, and then Rashard Kelly, who played a lot at the four. They go 11 assists, 1 turnover, 5 and 0 for Shaq, and 6 and 1 for Kelly. 24 assists and 3 turnovers is pretty good. 8 to 1. Questions? It's all about these seniors tonight. Enjoy these guys. They're tremendous.
Speaking of seniors, they'll be in next. So. JR comes in, goes 9 points in 6 minutes. Is he lobbying for earlier minutes on Saturday?
He could definitely help us and has helped us win games in crunch time. So I have no qualms about it. He just, he's behind some pretty good players, and that's the beauty of being deep. You've got a guy like him that's an insurance policy because he can really play.